hope you had a marvelous Thanksgiving. I know mine was pretty eventful. I'm sure y'all will hear about it in some other video maybe later down the road. But we're back. We appreciate you tuning in just one more time as we continue. We only have one more month left of the Year in a Red, which is the study of the parables of Jesus. So we have this one. I want to go ahead and get started with this one. It's a little long, but because I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. It's found in three places in the Bible. It's actually found in Matthew 21, also in Mark 12, but the version I'm going to read is actually found in Luke in chapter 20, and it starts in verse 9. So I'm going to go ahead and read that, and then we'll sort of discuss it after that. It says, "Then he began to tell the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, leased it to vine dressers, and he went into a far country for a long time. Now at vintage time, he sent a servant to the vine dressers that they might give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the vine dressers beat him and sent him away empty-handed. Again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, treating him shamefully, and sent him away empty-handed. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him, and they cast him out. The owner of the vineyard said, 'What should I do? I will send my beloved son. Probably they will respect him when they see him.' But when the vine dressers saw him, they responded among themselves, saying, 'This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, so that the inheritance may be ours.' So they cast him out of the vineyard, and they killed him. Therefore, what will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy those vine dressers and give the vineyard to others." And when they heard it, they said, "Certainly not." And he looked at them and said, "What then is this that is written? The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone." That's actually something that was written in Psalms 118, verse 22. Then to go on in verse 18, it says, "Whoever falls on that stone will be broken, but whoever it falls on will be grounded into powder." Just a little bit of history behind this. Jesus is actually talking to the Pharisees about something that was common in that day, where a tenant farmer, where someone would own a piece of land and he would allow someone to live there, and they would get paid just to take care of it and grow the produce or grow the vineyard. And what would happen is the owner then, whenever it became time for harvest, he would actually send his servants over there and say, "Look, send some of the produce back to me, for I own the property that you're living on." And what Jesus talks about in this, he throws in a very interesting parable, because what he's talking about is, he says, listen, there's an owner of a vineyard, there's an owner of something, that he's got people living and taking care of it. And then as he's telling these people, these Pharisees are recognizing he's referring to Israel. He's referring to the land that God owned, that God conquered. And what was going to happen is that he's given them to be taken care of it, and he's sending to make sure that his land's being taken care of, to see some of the produce of what's going on in his land. And then what's happening is, each one of those servants that Jesus is referring to was a prophet that had been destroyed and whenever they came down, they just keep destroying prophets. And finally, Jesus refers to himself, says, listen, then what happened is the owner sends his son. And then he foretells what's going to happen to him, that they kill him, that they take him outside the vineyard and they kill him. And they go through this, and it's really hitting home, and the Pharisees recognize that. That's a little bit about the parable. I want to tell you a little bit about what it means to me, and it's something because, I mean, everything I own is God's. There's no doubt about that, and I fully give credit to God and give God the glory for anything that I have, because I know that he's only given me as a steward over anything that I have. However, there's something else that I get out of this parable that I want to share with you guys just for a real quick moment, and that is that each one of us have been given the responsibility of something, and that thing that he's given us the responsibility for is to share the gospel. He's given each one of us the gospel to share and tell to other people. And then what happens is there's going to come a time wherever he comes and he says, those things that I've given to you, what have you done with it? Show me the produce. Throughout the New Testament, God refers to us as we're supposed to be sharing the fruit. There's supposed to be fruit from what we're doing. And God's going to come to us and say, listen, what's going on? Show me some of the produce from what I've given you. And it's going to be up to us to say, listen, this is what I've done, God. Jesus, this is what I've done with what you've given me. Back to the parables of the talents and all the other things, he talks about this. And so whenever I look at this parable, I think to myself, God has given this to me. What am I doing with it? Am I sharing the gospel? Is there any fruit? Is there any fruit to the labor that I'm doing for Christ? And whenever I read this parable, it just sticks out one more time that what am I supposed to be doing? There's going to come a time when Jesus looks at me and says, show me the produce. Show me the fruit of your labor. Show me what's going on. If you love me, you'll be telling other people about me. And so whenever I read this parable, that's the thing that comes to my mind. Hey, listen, I know that whenever Jesus is telling them, they might not have been thinking the same thing, but I just want to let y'all know what it meant to me, how it resonated in my heart. I hope you guys actually might be able to see something else. Maybe y'all can see something. Be sure and let us know on our Facebook page. I mean, you can get in touch with us. You can communicate and let us know whether or not we're even close, whether I'm close to it. Hey, listen, we have one more month of the Year in Red. Hope you guys are tuning in. We're definitely going to keep leaving them up there so people can review them. You can go back and look at some of the old ones. Again, we really appreciate you tuning in and sort of just paying attention to them. We appreciate you guys. Hey, listen, Reboot's coming up. If you're not registered, we hope your church goes ahead and gets registered. Very few spots are left. Remember, we love you, we're praying for you, and we thank you for tuning in to us. See you.